Hi, what we're going to do today is we're going to be making a skyline, and then the skyline we're going to create, hopefully with some animation, we're going to create some sunset effect. So we're going to be creating this sunset, and we're going to do that using Adobe Animate, learning to use some shapes and Illustrator because it's going to be part of our animation. So just following along, starting off with Illustrator. We're going to go into Illustrator. New file, and this one's going to be used for the web. So we're going to click on the web setting, and we're just going to make a web 1280 by 1024. So let's try to remember that size for later on. And we're going to create that. So it's going to be a blank. And if we work on this, we're going to see that we can create some shapes, and those shapes are going to be used for making a skyline. So our skyline again is going to be made out of just basic shapes. Shapes that we can use: rectangle shape, use from our toolbar. Fill, we're going to change that fill color to black, and we're just going to go and we can start drawing our shapes. So from the sample, we see the sample silhouettes. We have the Legislative Building, some other towers from downtown, the Mootart Conservatory. So just some iconic things that we might see in Edmonton skyline. So you're going to create some rectangle shapes. You can see we're going to just drag those down. Those are going to be some of the towers. Maybe the Telus Tower. We're going to have a part of our Legislative Assembly, so that has a little building. And we're just going to use these shapes, and we're just going to basically build a little silhouette. Now, some of the shapes you might not be familiar with is the polygon tool. So this is going to be useful. If we go over to our shapes, hold down our left mouse button over top of the rectangle shape, we're going to see some other hidden shapes underneath. So any one of these tools that has a small little white triangle next to it will have other hidden shapes. So I'm going to switch to polygon tool, and I'm just going to drag and make a polygon. So it's still black fill. We can see it has a stroke. I can turn off the stroke because I don't need that really for this event. Just leave the fill as black. But here, right on this transform, underneath the properties tab, underneath properties, you'll see these three little dots. Those dots hide more options, and you can see that we can change our polygon into a triangle. So we can use that to change our polygon into a triangle. And now I could use that to realign and readjust to make some of the skyline. So on top of our buildings, we might have to add a few little features. We know that if we look and use our direct selection tool, we can actually click and drag on those paths too, and actually use that to transform the shape a bit more. But you'll get the idea. We're just going to make a skyline using the polygon tool, rectangle tool. And then as we go through here, we're just going to add some other features. So here's another little tower. I'm going to put another tower that's going to be a little bit bigger and behind here. I'm just leaving some space in between those. Put a little features. Maybe there's some radio towers on top, some antennas, air conditioner units. Just let's add to some of that. Okay, so let's say we need to move some of our shapes. We can just drag them around, resize them, Control T if we want to resize them or transform them. Again, I'm going to use the polygon tool. Draw polygon, automatically just bounces to a 6-sided polygon. Change that to 3 sides. And this is going to be my Mootart Conservatory. I'm just going to click on it, hover near the corner so I can rotate. And I'm just going to stick these in here. Control C, Control V, copy and paste. And these are little different sizes. These again are just going to represent the Mootart. And Control C, Control V. So they're just going to be silhouettes. Now the Legislative Building, we're going to also use the polygon tool to draw a dome. That's going to be used. I have to use rectangle tool first. And this is the Legislative